Thank you. We'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. We have a very, very special fight, and we're very excited to have the combatants here today. And before we get started, we have a very special presentation from Showtime, a quick video. Again, thank you everyone for coming out today. It's a real honor for Mayweather Promotions to promote this very exciting matchup at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. We're excited to bring big-time boxing back. And what an incredible matchup we have between these two great champions. Both have had great careers thus far, and it's going to be a phenomenal fight come July 29th. And the fans are the winners. This event is promoted by Mayweather Promotions in association with Develop Entertainment, and our sponsor is Corona. And again, this is going to be a tremendous matchup. You have a guy in Adrien Broner, a four-time world champion, and Mikey Garcia, a tremendous fighter, a three-time world champion. And what better opportunity to have these two great champions come together. This is what boxing is all about. So before I get started, I'd like to bring up to the stage the VP of Operations, Development Entertainment, Ron Rizzo.
Thank you, everybody. On behalf of Lou DiBella and DiBella Entertainment, just wanted to thank Leonard and Mayweather Promotions promoting the event with us at Barclays. We did a hell of a successful event in January. It was a pleasure to work with them, and I'm looking forward to doing it again on July 29th. Wanted to thank Stephen down at the right side of the podium here with, Showtime Network. He continues to put out a great run of programming throughout this year, and July 29th is going to be another great event. It's one that you have two guys that are on sometimes the opposite end of the spectrum with personalities, but I believe that gets a little bit too much play because when you got them in the ring, they're just really, really great competitors and high-level fighters. At these are the types of fights you want to see. I also wanted to say thank you to Corona, our sponsor for the event, and also a real shout out to Brett Yormark and Barclays Center, who continues to make it his goal to make Barclays the premier destination for boxing, and I believe he's really succeeding with that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ron. Next up, can't say there aren't enough accolades about this gentleman. When he came over to Showtime, it was like night and day in my eyes. He had a vision, and his vision was to make Showtime the premier boxing network. And ladies and gentlemen, he's done that. If you look back and you see all the outstanding programming that he's brought to us and continues to bring to us, the rollout of all the big fights with champions fighting champions, that's what boxing is about. And he's done a phenomenal job. He has an exceptional team, and the vision is to bring big-time boxing back to the masses. And he's again, I can't say enough of the incredible job that Stephen Espinosa has done. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up the Executive Vice President and GM of Showtime Sports, Stephen Espinosa.
Thank you, Leonard. My apologies for keeping you guys waiting. The airlines were not cooperating this morning. But the fact that I was on an airline and I just came straight from the airport tells you what kind of fight this is. I wouldn't fly out cross-country for a press conference for just any fight. This is a special fight. You have two of the brightest young stars in boxing. And since I did fly all this way, I'm going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to share two stories. And it's really, I think, two brief stories that tell you everything you need to know. A few years ago, Adrien decided that he was going up to 147. And the way Broner does things, he doesn't take anything easy. So he took on one of Robert Garcia's fighters, Marcos Maidana. Marcos and Robert must have had a great training camp because Maidana came out that night and looked phenomenal. It wasn't Adrien's night. A lot of fighters would have packed it in after the first 3 or 4 rounds. And I mean pack it in, you know, maybe they find a way out of the fight, but at the very minimum, you know, maybe they're just playing it safe, trying to get through the rest of the fight to get to the end. That's not what Broner did. What Broner did, he fought harder and harder. And if you know Marcos Maidana, that's one of the toughest fights of anyone's career. So what I saw that fight, what I saw that night in San Antonio was Adrien Broner's heart. And I will never, ever doubt what Adrien Broner brings to the table based on what he showed me that night. You know, and Mikey, in his own quiet way, is very similar. There are a lot of situations where a fighter isn't happy with a promoter. There's a dispute, sometimes a lawsuit. More often than not, you know, the fighter gets impatient, you know, needs to make some money, needs to get a fight, you know, doesn't stick to his principles. But what Mikey did for 2.5 years shows you what kind of backbone he has. And Mikey had his beliefs. He knew what was right and wrong. And if it meant he was going to sit out for 2 years, he was going to sit out for 2 years. He's made his point. He got his freedom. Now he's in charge of his own career. And that's 2.5 long years of sticking to your guns and not backing down. So the reason that I'm here, the reason why I flew cross country for this fight is because I know it'll be a good fight. I know neither of these guys is going to back down. I know they're going to bring their all, and I know they're going to bring out the best of each other.
Next, I'd like to call up, in my eyes, he's a very exceptional trainer. He's been around the game for a long, long time. I've had the pleasure of knowing this gentleman for a number of years. He was competing and was world champion back when Floyd was world champion back in the day. He's done a tremendous job with training a number of excellent fighters. He has an excellent stable of fighters. And again, I'm sure he'll have Mikey very, very prepared come July 29th. So without further ado, none other than Robert Garcia.
How's everybody doing? Just want to thank everybody for being here. We get a lot of support here in Southern California with a lot of our friends, reporters, family. We are very thankful for that. And, you know, Mikey's going to be 100% ready for the fight, just like we know Broner's going to do the same. He knows this is a hard fight, so we're preparing like never before. You know, we're going to come out and do our job, and hopefully, you know, we get the support and, you know, all the way to New York from Southern California fans. But, you know we have great fans in New York. It's always great to be in New York. We are very thankful that Lou DiBella's involved. Mayweather Promotions are involved. It's going to be a hell of a show. I'm sure the fans are going to enjoy a great night of boxing on July 29th. Thank you, guys.
Also, another great trainer who I've been knowing for quite some time. He's one of the most underrated trainers in all of the game, and a good friend of mine. And he's been working with a number of these young kids, not only with just developing their skills as fighters, but just overall just raising these young men. We're teaching them these life skills that, you know, that will last forever for a lifetime. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up a very dear friend and an outstanding trainer, Mike Stafford.
Thanks, Leonard. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Robert says that his friends and families is here to support Mike, and that's where it should be. You know, these kids put their life on the line, and that's the number one thing. You know, we want these two kids right here to come out of this fight healthy. You know, I mean, it's a business, but we also want them to be healthy, and I see you here to support it. I'd like to thank the media for being here too. Al Heyman, Productions, you know, put this fight together. And also I'd like to thank Mayweather Promotions and Lou DiBella, which are a very good friend of mine. I met Lou back in 2000 when he formed a lot of the boxers back then, you know, for TV. So Lou has been around boxing quite a while. I'd like to thank Steve. He's a good guy. He's kind of like me, quiet, laid back. You know, I like his style though. You know, he's a good guy. He get the job done. His staff is tremendous. You know, as Mikey know and Robert know, you know, they work with him and they just tremendous people. You guys don't see the back of it, but you know, the back scene of it. But the Showtime is like Leonard says, is #1 boxing right now. You know, I've been with HBO, been with ESPN, been with all kind of networks, but Showtime is #1. Getting back to the fight now. This remind me, you know, if anybody knows, it always been back in the day, you know, when we was coming up in the amateurs and nationals and all that, and whatever. It's always been California and Cincinnati, you know, always cream come to the top. And this is what this would remind me of. If anyone, you know, I know a lot of these media people don't understand it, but Robert know what I'm talking about. You know, this, you know, it's always been the best of LA or California, and always been the best of Ohio or Cincinnati. Beaten, we always would meet. So this is what this really remind me. I remember Mikey's dad a lot, you know. You know, he's a good guy. So, but, you know, I'm glad to see everybody there, and I want everybody to try to make it up to the Barclays, which is a beautiful, beautiful venue. And, you know, as they say, just get it on, okay?
This next gentleman, can't say enough. There are not enough accolades to go around about him. He has 36 wins under his belt, an exceptional fighter, and he's come back. He took a little time off, but he's come back with a vengeance. He's beat everybody that's been put in front of him, and he's beat him in a very impressive fashion. He's the newly lightweight champion, and he continues to show his talents inside the ring. And he put on a very, very impressive performance in his last fight. Again, he's a very, very impressive fighter, a 3-division world champion, and one of the best fighters in the world. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up 3-division world champion.
I want to thank everybody for coming and joining us today. I mean, I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy to be back and, you know, have the fights that I believe I deserve, have the fights that will please the crowd, please all the fans. You know, it's great to be getting this fight with Adrien Broner. Everybody already knows kind of fighter that he is. You know, he's not a 4-division champion for no kill. That's what I want to give the fans. That's why I'm not taking on an easy title defense. I'm not taking an easy opponent at 135 that I could just get in the ring, beat him up, and walk home. I'm here to take on bigger fights so that the fans can really appreciate the sport of boxing. And these are the fights that will be most memorable. And I think this fight could be fight of the year. We're so even when it comes to, our accolades and our achievements. When he's at his best, man, he's one hell of a fighter. I'm always at my best. So you can never doubt me. And when we get in the ring, that's what you're going to see. One hell of a fight. I'm getting in shape to make sure that I win this fight because I think this launches my career even more and opens up bigger doors. I'm sure he wants to do the same. And that's why he's taking things more serious. He's moved his camp to Colorado. He knows what's in front of him. He knows it ain't no easy fight for him either. And like I said, that's what the ingredients are to be a great fight. To make a great fight, you got to fight the best and train your heart out. July 29th, the Barclays Center is going to be one hell of a place to be at. Welcome everybody to come and join us because we're going to have a great fight. If you can't make it, make sure you watch it on Showtime. Don't miss it. I really think it's going to be one of those fights that you're going to talk for years to come. With that, just want to say thank you guys. Really appreciate all the love and support, man. Thank you.
Before I bring up Adrien, I'd like to acknowledge the CEO of About Billions Promotions, Ravon Littlejohn. He's done an outstanding job with working with their young fighters and getting them to the level. They have a couple world champions, and again, great job, Ravon. It was just, I think it was Sunday, yeah, day before yesterday. Sunday, me and Floyd were at the skating ring, and a friend of mine had called me, and he was like, did you see the odds on the fight? I said, what fight? Floyd and Connor? He said, nah, Adrien and Mikey. And I looked, I said, plus 500? Adrien Broner? I say, excuse my friend, I said, they got this thing fucked up. There's no way in the hell, in my eyes, that Adrien Broner is no plus 5. In my eyes, he's a very, very talented young fighter. This happened to Floyd Mayweather. He's been able to overcome it. And I see no difference in Adrien Broner. When he's focused, he's definitely, and it's okay. But he knows what he's got to do. He's been on the big stage before. And I think, in my eyes, that this is going to be a great, great fight. You guys are going to see a different Adrien Broner. And I know he's probably said it in the past, but what it takes a lot of times is another great fighter like a Mikey Garcia, who's world-renowned as a great fighter, and we know what Mikey does. Mikey knocks guys out. He knocks them out cold. And Adrien Broner, he's flashy, he's fan-point, he's slick. But a lot of the things in my eyes that Mikey was able to do to a lot of the other guys, he's not going to be able to do that to Adrien. Because Adrien's going to be sitting right there, and he's going to be dishing it. He's a very, very accomplished fighter. He has all the skills in the world. And I think that he knows that with this kind of platform, there's no second chances when it comes to this kind of fight. He's got to be at his best because Mikey Garcia is the real deal. I'd like to bring up the very accomplished. He's the youngest 4-division world champion in boxing history. None other than Adrien, the Problem Broner.
What can I say? 5-1. Shit. Can y'all give me my check now? Cause I just put it on myself. Shit. I gotta thank everybody in LA, man. I'm glad mostly all his people came out. I love that guy. I'm just thankful, man. I've been through a lot of things, man. I've been through a lot of things in my life, my 27 years that I've been living. I've been through a lot. I've accomplished a lot, and I'm still here. I had my ups and downs in boxing, and this is just a time for me to just step up, and after this fight, hopefully I get my due diligence, after I beat Mikey. No disrespect to him. You know, I ain't got no bad blood to him, but, you know, I'm coming to fuck him up, though. I can't get that off my mind. It's like, man, do these motherfuckers, I'm a bad motherfucker, man. For real, man. Look, man. I'm the only motherfucker, I'm the only one in here that can go across the street, and if I shake a light pole, I bet money drop out the top of that motherfucker, man. I'm a bad man, man. I'm trying to tell you, man, like, they tripping, like, man, come on, man. And I know why I got a lot of critics. I know why a lot of people don't like me, because, like, you know what I mean, that's cool, but, like, I got what everybody want. I don't care, everybody in the whole universe. I got cold, hard cash, man. Everybody need that, man. Everybody need cash, man. I ain't somebody that's gonna sit back like I let my talent speak. I talk. I like to talk. I got cold hard cash. That's why y'all hate me. That's why y'all hate me. Everybody need that. Everybody. Even a monkey need cash. He just ain't got pockets to put it in. You hear me? Come on, man. Come on, man. Now everybody screaming my name because I had two bad nights of boxing. That happened to the best of them. You know what I'm saying? You not get knocked down, you get up. Shit. He been knocked down before by some little motherfuckers. He ain't been touched by nobody like me before. Like I said, man, let's switch opponents. Give me all 36 his opponents and he take all mine. And then let's see what our records will be. I know I'll be 36-0 with 36 knockouts. Point blank, period. So after July 29th, which is a birthday party to me, because my birthday is July 28th. I'm weighing in on my birthday. So y'all think I'm going to miss weight on my birthday? I can't miss weight on my birthday. So this is going to be a coming out party for me. I know Robert Garcia is going to have him ready. Everybody's probably looking like, oh, Robert Garcia beat him once with Maidana, but that's a different fighter. You know, I tip my hat to him. They was, you know, successful in that fight. Maidana, which is a friend of mine, you know, hopefully after the fight we all can go out and have fun and have steak. But July 29th, man, I will be victorious. You know, I really don't care what they do, how good they think they training. You know, I'm taking training serious. You know, and this just put the spark back in me in boxing. And, you know, after this fight, you know, I will be taking over the sport of boxing, man. Real talk. July 29th. Everybody be there at Barclays Center. About billions. Let's do it.